Okay, now we're going to look at some of the banking options we have here. First thing we're going to look at is how to write a check. Over here in the banking area, you click on Write Checks, and it looks just like a regular printed check. Then if you are paying somebody, you will choose who you are paying. Usually you're going to be paying a vendor, especially if it's something that you purchased on account. But we'll look at that a little bit later. Right now, let's say that we need to pay our water bill. Okay, so we are going to enter in city water. Okay, when you hit tab, that vendor is not in our vendor list. So we are going to click Quick Add, and then we make sure vendor is chosen there and click OK. So now we have a vendor called City Water. Now it doesn't have the address and all that stuff entered in there, but you can add that later. You put the correct date, and then you are going to put the amount that you need to pay. Okay, and then down here is where you're going to choose what account does this need to be recorded in. This is the water bill. So we are going to need to choose something that has to do with the water bill, which account from your chart of accounts. So as you can see down here, I have utilities expense. That is probably where I would put my water bill. So I will choose utilities expense. And once you've chosen the account to put it into, you will then click Save and Close. Okay, I'm going to do several more. Okay, I'm writing a check to our rental company. If we rent our building, we have to pay our rent. So we are going to put in our payment amount. Again, we need to choose which account this is going to go into. So we are probably looking for rent expense. And then we hit Save and Close. Okay, let's take a look at our check register and see what kind of activity that we've had so far. I'm going to click on the check register button. Okay, and notice you have your starting balance, owner's equity, and then we actually wrote a check to a vendor here, the Parts For You, for $127.65. We made a deposit when we deposited all the checks and cash that we had received from sales, and then we wrote a check for the city water bill, and we also wrote a check for our rent. So notice it calculates for us an ending cash balance, $10,808.64. So we're going to close that, and what we need to do at the end of the month is reconcile. Reconciling your bank account is a very important thing to do. In Accounting 1, you did it by hand, but here it's done electronically. The first thing you need to do is say, okay, when is the end of the statement? What is the statement date that you received from your bank? This is actually April, so I'm going to choose April 30th. And then you need to put in the ending balance that is shown on your statement, which is actually $10,783.64. If your bank charges you a service charge, you would put it in here. We have a $25 service charge, and this is going to be for the end of April. And then you need to choose what account that needs to go into. That's a bank service charge. So that's going to be an expense, and we have a bank service charges expense account, so we'll select that. If you had earned any interest on your account, then you would put it here, and then you would put it into some kind of interest income account. We don't have any right now. So let's click Continue. And notice over here on the left shows you all the checks that you show that you have written. And then over here it shows all of the deposits that you have made. So look down here at the bottom right, we have our goal is to have a difference of 0 on our cleared balance. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to check off all the checks that the bank statement shows have been through. If one of these checks did not show up on the bank statement, that would be an outstanding check, and we would not put a check mark there. And then also the deposits that show on our bank statement. So we're going to click that. All right, so we look down here at the bottom. We have our service charge added, our ending balance and our cleared balance match, and that gives us a difference of 0, which is what we're going for. Then we're going to click Reconcile Now. Okay, and it says congratulations, your account is balanced. Okay, so we have reconciled. We can actually print a report from that, or we can click on Close.